All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to my dear students in programming, computer fundamentals and programming. And I hope you're doing good. ATM, right? So, in this video, I'm going to discuss about the tracing of our loops and accumulators. This was your homework or activity last time during our live meeting, and I hope you were able to do the tracing of each solution. So there are three groups. I told you that each group should do the tracing of the set flowchart, the solution for each flowchart. So let me now share the video or the PowerPoint presentation for the said flowchart. All right, so we will be doing the tracing. Again, this is under the loops and accumulators topic, lesson 26. And there was a problem presented, and there are three solutions, possible solutions. These solutions are just the same, but just a rearrangement of the different boxes or the different symbols in the flowchart. All right, so let me show you once again different solutions. So just a review, quick review. Accumulators is just the summing up of the values which we are entering in the program or in the flowchart. So this is again a repetitive operation of adding each numerical quantity to the sum. The sum is the variable. All right. So again, as an example, accumulator is like counting how much is given every time. Say for example, bilangin mo nga kung ilan ang average ng mga edad ng mga nakatira sa bahay nyo. Halimbawa, sa una, ililista mo si nanay, ilang taon. Pangalawa, ililista mo si tatay, pangalawang taon na yun. Pangatlo, ililista mo si anak, si panganay. So, tatlo na ang taon na yun. So, i-add mo sila sa isang listahan. And yung listahan na yun, ito total mo, yung total na yun, yung i-divide mo kung ilan sila. So, magkakaroon ka rin ng counter dito. And then, the total of the ages will be divided by the number of persons, which is the value in the counter. Right? So, again, our problem is the drawing of a flowchart to compute and print the sum of the squares of positive integers from 1 to 5. Mathematically, we said that's going to be sum equals 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared plus 4 squared plus 5 squared. Gagawin natin yung flowchart equivalent nito para makuha natin yung sum ng squares ng integers, positive integers from 1 to 5. And I gave you three different solutions. Tingnan natin let's see how did they differ from one another. So this is the first solution, second solution, and the third solution. Just like what I've said earlier, we're going to do the tracing of the different variables. So we're going to find out what will be the value of each variable every time we do the tracing. Or if we trace the flowchart. All right, so let me go back. Where is that PowerPoint presentation? Okay, so initially, so ito na, gagawin na natin yung tracing. Initially, you notice we have K equals 1. So, saan ang galing yung K na yan? Well, this K is just a variable, so you can assign any variable. So, ito na yung variable na nagre-represent ng number na i-square natin. Again, this variable K represents the number which we will be squaring. Alright, so initially, we said it has to start from 1. That's why K here is equivalent to 1. Then we're going to square that one. We're going to add 1 to it and then square and so on. Hanggang makita natin yung K equals 5. So again, this is the initialization part. K equals 1 and sum equals 0. So you notice that after this initialization, we now get the sum. So what will be the value of sum? Sum equals sum plus K squared. Right, so paano natin lalagay yan? Yan, ganyan na lang. Lagyan natin ng parenthesis para hindi kayo nalito. So initially, what is the first or the previous value or the latest value of sum? Kasi nga, lalagyan natin yung sum equals sum. What's the value of sum? Now you're going to trace back. Ibig sabihin, susundan nyo yung line by line kasi dapat yan. So titignan nyo, ano ba yung last value ng sum? Saka nung k, and then i-square natin. So you notice that the last value of sum is 0, and that will be 0 plus. What's the value of k? 1 pa lang naman ang value ng k, so that's 1 times 1. So this is now the final value of sum, which is 1. Okay? Okay, next. It says here that we're going to add 1 to k. Or k equals k plus 1. That will be k equals, what was the last value of k? Trace back. Yun, ito yung pinaka-latest or pinaka-last value ng k natin, which is 1. So 1 plus 1. So k now becomes 2. Then after that, we're going to test is k less than or equal to 5? Question mark. So syempre, ang sagot natin dyan, yes. We're going to, excuse me, 10, okay. So, is it less than or equal to 5? So, you notice our answer is k, which is 2. That's the last value of k na itetest natin. So, yes. So, because that is yes, we're going to the left, which is the answer is yes. Then, punta tayo sa A. Then, ano yung binalikan natin? We repeat this operation. Yan, babalikan natin yan. So, ibig sabihin, from there, from k less than or equal to 5, no. Sorry, yes pala. Then pupunta tayo ulit dito sa sum. So, ulitin natin yung operation na to. Saka, sige, isa-isayin natin. Yan, so, babalikan natin yung sum na yan. So, you notice that the last value of sum, what's the last value of sum? Sundan natin. Yun, sum is equal to 1 plus k times k. What's the last value of k? 2. Ito yung last value ng k natin. So that will be 2 times 2. So the last value of sum now is equivalent to 1 plus 4. And that is equivalent to sum equals 5. After getting the sum, you notice, this is the part. After getting the sum, we add 1 to k. So that will become k equals k plus 1. So what was the last value of k? Para makuha natin itong k na to. So again, trace back, yung last k equals 2 natin. So that will be k equals 2 plus 1. So k now becomes 8. Right now, after adding 1 to k, we're going to ask again if k is less than or equal to 5. So yes pa rin, because k is less than 3. So babalik tayo sa operation na yan. Then after that, we go back to this operation. Sum equals, yan. Sum equals, ano yung last value ng sum natin? That will be sum. Trace back, 5. So 5 plus k times k. Ano yung last value ng k natin? It's 3. So that will be 3 times 3. So that will be sum equals 5 plus 9, and that is equivalent to sum equals 14. Okay? So after that, we add 1 to k again. K equals k plus 1. That is equivalent to, what's the last value of k? It's 3. 3 plus 1, and that is equivalent to 4. K equals 4. Now, balik mo mga ito. Equals, ganyan lang. Yan, para maiksi. Yan. Yan. Inayos ko lang para hindi tayo Yan natin yan. Yes. 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 Yan. Okay, k equals 4. And then is k, ulitin natin to eh. Is k less than or equal to 5? Yes pa rin. So sum ulit natin. Will be, what's the last value of sum? Trace back. Trace, that's 14. 14 plus, what's the last value of k for this one? So that's 4. 4 times 4, that is now equivalent to 14 plus 16. So sum equals 30. Right? Then after that, guys, sir, paano mo kinukuha to? Take note that I'm just following the flowchart. I'm just following the flowchart. So please take note that these operations I'm doing, the operations that I am doing, is following the flowchart. So sinusundan natin yung flow. So nasan yung part na to? Is k less than or equal to 5? Nandito po yan. Okay? Is k less than or equal to 5? Yes. So public tayo sa A. Yan. So dito yung A natin. Kaya nag-uulit-ulit tayo ng sum equals sum plus k squared. So balikan natin. So after sum, we get now to add 1 to the k. And the last value of k is 4. 4 plus 1, that's now k equals 5. And then, question. Is k less than or equal to 5? Yes pa rin, that's equal to 5. So after that, babalik tayo sa A. And what's A? So, sum again equals sum plus k times k. And that will be equivalent to, what's the last value of sum? Trace back, 30. That's 30 plus, what's the last value of k? That's 5 times 5. That will be equivalent to 30 plus 25. So sum is equivalent to 55. Right? So now we add 1 to k again. K equals k plus 1. That is equivalent to, what's the last value of k? Trace back. Ayun, 5. So 5 plus 1. That is equivalent to 6. Diba natin yung k equals 6. After getting this value, kapag tayo rito, is k less than or equal to 5? No na. Okay? It's now no. So if it's no, we're going to print the sum. Print sum. Right? So that's now our formula. Equation, I should say. Right? Huwag niyong kakalimutan. Okay. Ayusin ko lang. Okay. Okay. Yan, tapos na. So this is now the tracing of our first solution. Initialization. Right, sum. Okay, this is, puli natin dyan na lang para mas next yung ating tracing. So I would like you to do this one. Okay. Okay, lagyan na lang natin dito. Para makita natin lahat. Lagyan na lang natin ng equal. Para plus 0 plus 1 and that is 0 and 1. Ayan. Para mag-siyan lang talaga. Okay, let's go. Why am I doing this? Para makita nyo kung gaano. Para makita nyo lahat. Yun lang naman ang purpose ko dito. Para makita nyo yung flow ng ating flowchart. Yung tracing ng flowchart natin. So ito po yung tracing ng flowchart natin. So I hope you have this kind of tracing based on the flowchart. So you're going, I hope that that the one that you're submitting or those you submitted have this kind of tracing, right? So let's try to check the second solution. If it will give us, the same value. So if I ask you, let's say for example, what is the latest or what is the final values, what are the final values of the variables sum and k. So lalagay niyo dyan, sum, the latest value is trace back. Okay, so this is 55. While k is equivalent to 6. Let's take note, these are the final values, okay, of our flowchart based on the tracing of our flowchart. All right, now let's see if it will give us the same output if we follow this second solution. So take note, the same. Yan, meron din tayong ganyan. Tignan natin ha. Initialization. Right, sum is equal to 0 and k is equal to 1. After that, next. What's next? Right, yan na. Sum is equal to sum plus k times k, and that is equivalent to 0 plus 1. That's 1. That is equivalent to 1. So ito na yan. Now may question. Is k, the question now is different. Is k equals 5? Yes or no? No. Kapag no, magkakaroon tayo ng plus 1 sa k natin. So k equals k plus 1. That is equivalent to, what's the last value of k? Trace back 1. The last value of k is 1. So that will be 1 plus 1 equals 2. After that, we go back to, after adding 1 to our k, here's the 1, we go back to a. And what's a? Getting a sum. Sum is equivalent to, ganun pa rin, sum equals k times k, that will be, it should be plus. What's the last value of k? A sum, I should say. We trace back and that is 1. And the k, the last value of k is 2. So 2 times 2. And that is equivalent to 1 plus 4. That's equivalent to 5. And then, question again. Is k equals 5? Siyempre, no pa rin yan. Because what's the value of k? 2. Balikan natin yung no natin. So, babalik tayo dito sa operation na to. So, ganyan lang. Replace na natin itong ating values. So, k plus 1 ulit. What's the last value of k? Take note, that's 2 plus 1, and that is now equivalent to 3. Alright. The last value of sum. The last value, trace back, and that is 5. Plus k times k. What's the latest value of k? It's 3. Take note, it's 3. Yung sinundan niya kagad, baka pumunta kayo dito sa taas na 2. No. Yung line before this one is actually the value of k. So that's 3. So 3 times 3, that is equivalent to 5 times 9 equals 4k. That's now this one, this part. Now after that part, may question ulit di ba? So tatanong ulit tayo kung ang k ba natin ay equals sa 5. So no pa rin yan. Kasi nga ang k natin ay, what's the last value of our k? It's 3. It's not equal to 5. So what do? We get the sum of k plus 1. So what's the last value of k? It's 3. So that's 3 plus 1. And then sum. The last value of sum is equivalent to 14 plus the square of k, which is, hindi natin na-add, 4. The 4 times 4 is equivalent to 14 plus 16, and that will give us 30. So if you recall or if you notice, we are doing actually the same flow, we get the same values, I should say, but the flowchart is just different. The idea of presenting the problem is different. Or the ideas or the ways to represent the problem is different. Kasi nga, pwede kasing magkakaibang tao to eh. Tulad nito. Pwede na, you notice, dito rin magkakatalo eh, yung loob ng decision natin. Okay, tapusin muna natin to. So, after that, after getting the sum, tatanungin ulit natin yung sarili natin. Is k equals 5? No pa rin, di ba? Kasi nga 4 pa lang yan. Dahil 4 pa lang yan, magkakaroon ulit tayo ng k plus 1, which is 4 plus 1. And that's now equal to 5. Okay? So, next, sum. The last value is 30. 30 plus the square of the last value of k is 5. So 5 times 5, that is 30 plus 25, that is equivalent to 55. Now we ask ourselves, is k equals 5? I think k is now equal to 5. The latest value of k is 5. Yes. So yes na yan. So punta na tayo dito na part. So print sum. Now if we ask what are the final values of sum and k. Sum, you notice, is 55 and k is equal to what? 5. So doon tayo nagkaiba, di ba? Iba yung final value ng k natin, but we get the same sum. That's why we only printed sum. Okay? Kaya sum lang yung printed dito kasi nga, yung iba't ibang solution natin may give us different final values of k. Alright? So, compare natin. Yan, and this one. Yan. So, we have the final values of k, 6 dito, and sum, 55 sum. Dito naman, 55 din ang sum, then k, but k is different. Now, let's try the third solution. Sabi ko kanina, actually, minsan dito lang nagkakatalo. Yung nasa loob ng ating test. Kasi kanina, if you notice, the value inside this is k less than or equal to 5. Dito naman is k equals 5. Dito kaya sa pangatlong solution. Is k greater than 5? Okay, iba naman ang presentation dito. Tignan natin kung ano magiging itsura ng ating tracing if we follow the third solution. Do we get the same value of k? Do we get what values of k and sum do we get? Alright, so let's try to check. Unahin natin yung ating, syempre, again, initialization. Again, just follow the different, the different symbols in the flowchart. Kaya nga tayo flowchart. So, meron yung flow. Just follow the decision. Just follow each box. Just follow this one. And then, magkakaiba lang naman ng direction kapag may decision symbol na eh. So, either you go to the right or go to the left, depending on your answer. Depending on what is inside the test symbol, which is the decision symbol. Is it true or false? Is it going to the left? Well, this is right. Or it's going to the left. Right? So, tingnan natin. Click tayo sa tracing natin. So, ganun pa rin. Sum a equals 1. Sum equals 0. Now, it's already asking, is k greater than 5? Is it greater than 5? No. K is equivalent to 1. So, no. So, what do we do if it is no? Gagawin na natin to. Notice, gagawin na natin yung sum tsaka plus 1. So, I might get this one. K, square muna. I think the first solution, yan, sum. Right? we get the sum first, and then we get the k. Alright, and then going back to a. What's a? It's asking again. Yan, babalik tayo sa a. Then tatanungin niya ulit if k is greater than 5. So, no pa rin yan. Di ba? So, no pa rin. And then, ganun ulit. Pag no, sabi natin dito, yan, going to the left, then do the sum in k. Yan. So, bali ang magkakaiba na lang dito ay kung ano ang magiging value ng ating k saka sum. So, I bet the final value of sum is 55. And, what do you think is the final value of k? Para ma-arrive natin tong yes na to. So, definitely, the last value of k should be greater than 5. Right? Ano bang greater than 5? So, 6. Is k greater than 5? Pag naging 6 na yan, yes lang, sagot mo, di ba? Then, saka ka mag-print na siya. Anyway, tapusin natin to. Is k greater than 5? No. Dahil no yan, gagawin ulit natin to. Yan. And so, nagawa yan. And then, after this one, is k greater than 5? No pa rin. So, punta tayo dito. Oh, where are we? Yan. Is k. Yan. Babalik na tayo dito. Is k greater than 5? Yes. Magkakaroon ng print sum ulit. So, print sum. So now, just like our question earlier, what are the final values of sum and k? You know this, if you're going to trace back, the last value of k is 6 and sum is 55. So that is now our solution number 3. Solution 3. This is solution 1, and the third is solution 2. Alright, so save. Accumulator solutions. Accumulator solutions. 3. Right. Again, pare-pareho lang naman yan. Right? So, erase. Next. So that's the end of our accumulator. Loops and accumulator. Right? So I hope you're able to understand the tracing of the flowchart. So please continue reviewing this one, and the next video might be related to the flowchart, because I told you before that we will be converting our flowchart to our C++ program. Okay? So thank you for watching. Good luck.